One foggy evening, Percy was returning home after a hard day's work at the docks. He was tired and in need of a long rest. He was travelling along a route which he knew of. It was a shortcut to get home. Percy knew where he was, even in the dark.
It should be long now, for I'm nearing Crow's Farm Crossing.
Crow's Farm Crossing was located near Heckenbeak, which was a small hamlet serving as a halt on Thomas's branch line. As Percy continued his run, the rails hummed and the signal lights shone green. Then he heard a whistle that was not familiar to him, followed by a voice echoing in the darkness. Children, children. Percy was confused. He slowed down and whistled back.
Hello? Is anyone there?
I like children. I like children.
Percy was getting more confused. As he was about to cross Crow's Farm Crossing, he and his crew both gasped in horror as another engine shot out from the fog. Percy wailed out, whistling long and loud as he closed his eyes, expecting a crash. But then silence quickly fell. Cautiously, Percy opened one of his eyes as his driver and fireman looked out from opposite sides from the cab. No one was there.
What in Satan's name was that?
It looked like an engine, but that was no kind of engine, but it looked enough.
That was a ghost train. It's not like the one that we were told about, but that was so realistic and terrifying.
Then the driver paused. He began to remember something from long ago.
Percy, remember the time I told you about the ghost story about the one that I saw the night before and was to be a pretend ghost on television? I'm just beginning to think that possibly. No, I'm not kidding here. I believe that now, and it was not a fake story at all. It was real. I was wrong. The ghost train was real!
Percy's wheels shivered at the thought if his driver was believing the story that he had told him. But even he was starting to have second doubts about it.
Hey Toby, what are you doing out here at this time of evening?
I've been here for hours. The points are jammed, so I can't go anywhere. My driver's calling for help, and a group of workmen are coming to mend the failed points.
The old tram engine suddenly noticed that the mist was rolling in quite faster than usual, and the moonlight's bright light from above was starting to become blocked.
My word, what unpleasant weather this is.
Suddenly, he and Percy heard a whistle from another engine, which was coming from the darkness ahead of them. It was then heard again, followed by an echoing voice.
Children. Children.
Bless my bell. It can't be.
I like children. I like children.
Then they saw the shape of an engine silhouetting in the mist. They couldn't see the mysterious engine's face, but it was certain that it was the evil spirit of Timothy.
My reign of horror will never end. My wrath your graves. And then he will be mine and will join me in hell.
Timothy shot forward, shrieking out loudly. Percy and Toby quickly caught a glimpse of his sadistic face. They shut their eyes as they anticipated a crash. Total silence fell. Percy opened his eyes first, then Toby. They looked around, but no one was there. Timothy had vanished.
So, that was Timothy.
Yes, Toby, it was.
What's going on?
We already know.
It's him. Timothy's out there.
So you sense my presence. The years of haunting this line. The years of haunting an island that has changed in the wake of my demise still hasn't understood about me and why I did the unthinkable. Taking human lives. You can't see nor feel what I'm going through. This railway will soon be forgotten, just like me. The past of an era that I led the way for my kind of engines. The LB and SCRE2s. I was meant to be a really useful engine, but I was not worthy. I let the others have the pride and joy, while I became nothing more but a stepping stone. I hated it. I hated everything that this railway represents. Even after my so-called accident, I still see no change. I see the same faces, the same people. This is a worthless railway. I will send you all to your graves. And then he, the one who is able to survive and live on, will go with me into hell.
He came again.
He's talking about send him down with him. Just who is it that he's talking about?
I know who he's after.
Thomas, are you okay?
I know who he's after. Me.
What? He's after you?
But why? What does Timothy want with you?
I didn't want to believe it, but now I do. I believe that ghost train story was real, and that there was an engine, and that once ran on this railway before I came here in 1915, but I was too young to even know, or even remember back then. But now, it all makes sense. Timothy is after me, and he wants me gone. He wants me gone from this world!
After now realizing that Timothy's ghost was after Thomas, Toby and Percy were deeply worried about him. But despite this evil threat, Thomas dug down deep inside his boiler to show that he was not going to be defeated by someone who was a near identical image of himself. Hours later, while at the docks, he explained all this to Gordon, who was preparing to take the evening express. Gordon did not believe any part of the story one bit, and thought that the little blue tank engine was out of his mind, and that he only saw something out of his imagination.
Ghost train? Almost looks like you. With a demonic face like the devil? Paw! What nonsense! Why, this story sounds like another pile of rubbish that only little kids will be afraid of.
Thomas once again tried to tell Gordon that this was all real and not fake, but the big blue engine was having none of it.
Oh, you silly little tank engine! All this is just fiction! Why, if I really saw a ghost, well, I just simply stand up to it and scare it away! Even if all this Timothy, or whatever nonsense, or whatever you call him, would scare the likes of me? Paw! Just remember, little Thomas, I'm an important engine, and I don't have time for made-up stories of things that go bump in the night. Good night.
Gordon was making excellent timing, with the night being clear and the signals shining green.
These ghost stories. Paw! Thomas must be too puffed up in his smoke box. There's no such thing as ghost.
As he neared the viaduct, his driver saw the signal ahead, and it was red. Gordon was not pleased and confused by this as he came to a stop.
I don't understand it. I'm the only engine on the line at this time of night. And Henry is not due with the Flying Kipper until morning.
But he was wrong. A blanket of fog suddenly came down, followed seconds later by a deep whistle he had never heard before.
Huh? What's that over there? It looks like a... Oh my God! No! No! It can't be!
So you too have heard about my past. Everyone knows it, yet they fail to understand it. I'm here to tell you this. If you see Thomas, tell him that his time on this railway is coming to an end, and that he will never be seen again. And If you don't, you'll be among many of my next victims that I will take straight to hell.
No, please. I don't want. I'm too young to be scrubbed. No, I don't want to go to hell. Wait, I must be dreaming. Oh, this is the one you. Oh, stop. Let's get out of here.
As soon as it happened, the fog lifted. But Gordon was horrified and scared almost to death. The signal changed to green and he was on his way again. Gordon remained silent for the rest of the night, knowing that he had just had an encounter with Timothy, the ghost train of Sodor. At Crosby Station, James was taking a short mixed freight. He could not leave until Edward had arrived with his passenger train, who was running 25 minutes late. James was getting impatient and wanted to leave.
Where's Edward? He's supposed to be here on time, and now he's holding me up for the last 25 minutes.
Another 2 minutes passed before finally Edward arrived.
Late once again!
Oh, come off it, James. I got held up back there at the viaduct after a group of witnesses stopped us, reporting that they had saw something unusual and that it was on the same track as me.
Stuff and nonsense! Your so-called hold-up has made me late for almost half an hour! Now if you'll excuse me, I must be off.
And with that, James puffed crossly away with his train. James was trying to make up for the time he had lost. He was still feeling very bad-tempered. He arrived near Brendan's warehouse just outside Knapford's yards, where he had to shunt his train into a siding. The sun was almost completed setting, and James had to get some water for he had run low on it.
This won't take too long, I hope. I don't want to miss my favorite football game. You can't say that again.
However, the lever would not allow the water to come out, no matter how much the driver tried.
That's weird. Hey chap, let's go and see if there's a mechanic around here to give us a helping hand. Sure thing. James, we'll be back in a moment before you know it.
Oh great! More hold-ups!
As the red engine waited, it started to rain lightly, but less than 6 minutes later, it poured down.
Just my luck. If Henry was here, he'd be complaining and wanting to hide in the tunnel again.
Just then, the air grew colder. James felt the drop in temperature, but then he started to hear someone or something nearby in the sidings.
Is someone there? Hello? Hey, cut it out! Whoever's in there, show yourself! I'm in no mood for fun and games!
Don't you see it? The time is near. The moment is closing in. The end is almost upon us.
James suddenly started to feel tense when he heard that voice. Then he saw an engine appearing from behind a long line of vans.
Oh my god! No way!
Can't you feel it? The pain, hatred, depression, and suffering. Don't you feel it? No, you don't. You can't understand it. Thomas tried to save me, yet he failed in doing so. Pass this on to him. His demise will come. Once he's gone, I'll get my vengeance. If you don't, you'll suffer your own demise by me.
It's the ghost train! He does exist! He's gonna get me! Help! Help!
James was so terrified that he refused to open his eyes. But he did though, when he saw that Timothy was no longer there, as did the rain and the cold temperature that had gone away at the same time. He looked around, shivering to make sure that nothing else was there, remaining ever so silent, even when his crew had returned. This was one night that James would never want to remember. One night, Henry was travelling home light after taking the Wild Nor'Wester. The moon was full, with stars in the sky and a slight blow of wind.
I should be home soon. I'm really in need of a long sleep after such a hard day of work.
You got that right, old boy. I'll be needing one too.
As he got closer to home, Henry entered the tunnel where he got bricked up many years ago. After coming out at the other end of the tunnel, he heard a sudden evil laughter.
What the heck was that?
Henry gasped out in horror, as did his driver, when they saw Timothy rushing by on the other line, whistling fit to burst.
Oh my god! Is that...
It's him!
Thomas will be mine, as will everyone else. My pain and suffering will be felt, and then everyone will be sent to a graveyard.
Did you see that?
Yes, I did. So the story was true. There was another engine that ran on this railway and had a terrible accident. But I was never told who he was.
I do, Henry. I remember something like that being told recently. All I know is that there was an engine called Timothy. He was painted silver and had the number 0 on his sides. And that engine who passed us? Yes, that was him, all right.
Timothy. So that's the ghost train's name. Now I remember. I think I did see an engine that ran through the other side of the tunnel while I was bricked up there all those years ago. But I was too young to know if it was really him, not to mention a bloody face with zombie teeth and devil eyes. Oh dear, what will the others think when I tell them?
Henry crawled slowly home. Unlike the previous supernatural events he had in the past, this one surpassed them and would burn in his memory for a long time.